Hey y'all, welcome back to my Purest Alchemy channel. If you guys don't know me, my name is Brianna and this is my Purest Alchemy channel where we talk about case studies or things under the sun alike and whatever comes to my mind. So today I was thinking while I was just pondering at my desk about how important it is to honor your disgust. What do you mean honor your disgust? I think disgust is such a interesting emotion because it really shows up on your face. Like I've seen disgust show up. Like when you're disgusted by something and it's just like this part of your face will literally when you're disgusted, right? It causes a visceral reaction. So I was thinking about one time where I was extremely disgusted by a situation. So I wrote, disgust is such an interesting emotion because it signals to us where we have clear resistance. Feeling disgust tells us to take a huge step back. Feelings like this present themselves to us to protect our values and integrity. I can name numerous occasions where I have felt disgusted, but I will name one. One time I started dating this guy. It was pretty early on. Everything was fine until one day I randomly met this girl in one of our local stores. And since she was helping me cash out, we began to have a dialogue and we clicked well. Turns out she lived close to me. We began to hang out and we followed each other on Instagram. I saw she and the guy I was dating were mutual friends. The next time him and I hung out, I told him, I met someone new recently and she was really cool. I showed him her page and asked, do you guys know each other? And he goes, yes, we went to school together. But I felt like he was lying. But I didn't press the issue. So one day, her and I are hanging out, and I'm telling her about how him and I are supposed to go out and have a weekend to ourselves. Keep in mind, I hadn't told her exactly who I was dating. But this time, I was just talking and it slipped out. And she stopped me in my tracks and told me, girl, I don't feel right about this, but he's my sneaky link. See, I was then extremely disgusted. Not because they were hunching on the low, but because I strongly dislike when people undermine my intelligence. Not only did I give him the opportunity to tell me the truth, but he let me find out through someone I just met. Of course, I kicked him to the curb, but the first thing he did was text her and ask her why she told me anything, and he was cussing her out. I truly don't value people who think I'm not intelligent enough to catch them in their lies. I was so disgusted I had to remove myself. I feel that disgust is one of those emotions that when you push through disgust and you know that you're disgusted with somebody and their actions, it internalizes shame within you because then you get confused about what your values are, what you hold as sacred, right? And one of my values is truth and honesty. I didn't feel like he was outrightly being malicious. I did feel like maybe he was afraid of me not wanting to talk to him anymore. So I respected her because she told me outright. Didn't let me wonder. It wasn't no weird shit where she was gonna keep fucking him behind my back and know that me and him were dating. I thought that it was really divine intervention when I just randomly met her. I'd never met that girl in my life, but the fact that I met her and then she was fucking around with the dude that I was dating, I was like, yeah, I'm not meant to keep fucking with him because I feel like somebody who cares about you and somebody who wants to thrive with you, they're gonna their actions are gonna match their words. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna have to ruminate and figure out, right? Saw that they followed each other. I told him about the interaction that I had. I feel like men operate very much so differently. Some men are very much so, if you don't ask, I'm not going to tell, right? But my whole thing is, if you're going out your way to try to make it seem like you want to marry somebody, blah, 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 there are going to be things that come about to show where your heart is. The fact that I didn't even have to go fish for that information and it just came to me showed that my heart was in the right place and my intentions were genuine. I get disgusted with people when they don't give me the opportunity and they leave me in the blind. When they don't give me the opportunity to make my choice. Like if he would have told me, hey, like, I've been fucking around with her, whatever the case may be, then I would have made my decision if I still would have liked him that much. But I didn't really like him that much. Like, I'm going to be real. I didn't really care. That's why it was very easy for me to just let it go. It wasn't like I was just so fucked up about the fact that they were fucking around. I kind of felt like if you can't be honest with me about little shit like this and you're seeing how the divine intervention is coming through where I just randomly met a girl that you were fucking, like, what do you think? And the fact that I saw them following each other really gave me an inkling to really just observe. Like, I didn't want to go out of my way to accuse anybody of anything because I felt like, okay, well, if they just go to school together, then they just go to school together. I'm also not going to say, oh, you're lying to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. I feel like if a person is lying to you, it will come out. Like, you will see a person's true colors. Disgust is such a raw emotion. It's such a raw feeling. It's something that comes about when you know that this is not in alignment for me. It's called the ick, right? Like a lot of people call it the ick, but you get the ick. Sometimes you just get the ick and you get the ick and that's it. Sometimes I feel like people try to make sense of their ick. I don't feel like you have to make sense of your ick. If you're getting an ick, you're getting an ick for a reason. It's not something that you have to think about too much because in the end, you're going to see why you're disgusted. Like the ick really became a talk point at a certain time, right? It became a talk point at a certain time. And I just think about that today. Like, it's so interesting how we have like ebonics for certain things, right? Like ick, ugh. A lot of women will say like, yeah, I stopped talking to him because I got the ick. You don't want to have too many icks in your relationships. You don't want to be with somebody who icks you out. You want to be with somebody who makes you feel good, who makes you feel sensual, who makes you feel sexy. Like, you should feel that within yourself, right? But if you're going to be with somebody and you're feeling like all the time, women have been conditioned to like tally icks. I feel like after one ick, because ick is such an ick, like it's an ick is something that is so distinguishable. It's so distinct. You cannot override your ick. This was an example for me of one of my icks because I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I am very much so an intellectual. I love having conversations. So I really felt like, ew. I don't like when people try to make it seem like I'm dumb. But there are icks that are fundamental because they translate over into relationships, right? Let's say a woman is dating a man and she finds out that he's on the T app. She's disgusted with him. If she chooses to stay in this relationship, 9 times out of 10, use my example with my story to understand that most men don't want to incriminate themselves. They don't. Like, even if you bring it to them, they're just going to be like, no, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know who that is. That's not even me on the T app. They're lying. So you have to trust your own intuition. If you get an ick about something, it's a clear signal to you to trust that ick. There's a reason why you feel disgusted. And it's not going to be a one-time thing. Like, if you have felt disgusted with somebody, you will feel disgusted with him again. And then when you continuously stay in a relationship where you're constantly disgusted, it starts to show up on your face. You literally start getting frown lines. You ever go around and see people's faces and their faces are stuck a certain way, like this? That's like constant disappointment, constant disgust, constant sadness. And it gets stuck in their face. Your face has muscles. So the more you exercise certain muscles in your face by holding on to certain feelings, your face literally becomes that way. There are some people you've ever noticed, like some people look super youthful in their old age, but then there are other people who look like life just beat them the fuck down by like the age of 40. That's because there's constant feelings of either rage or disgust or sadness that just imprints on them and it just stays there. So I feel like it's really important. Let's bring another example into this. Let's say you're in a relationship with a man or you're in a relationship with a woman and you find out she's cheating on you. And you're so disappointed by that. And you're so disgusted by that. But you stay. You are overriding your intuition. You are overriding what you are seeing about a person, and you are allowing yourself to sit in disgust. And when you start sitting and sitting and sitting in that disgust and continuously sitting in that disgust, you start becoming disgusted with yourself. That's why it's so important to literally like get away from people you feel disgusted by, because you literally sit in that and you become it. Like you exchange energy with people. That's why it's so important to understand that when you are, let's say you're on a road to being successful. If you're constantly, they say, everybody knows this quote about if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. If you hanging out with 5 drug addicts, you're going to be the 6th. So imagine you're in a relationship with someone and you're constantly disgusted by them. You're disgusted by the way they eat. You're disgusted by the way that they walk. You're disgusted by the way that they talk. Your face will literally constantly. I know y'all have seen somebody's face that literally looks like, because they feel constant disgust in their life. That's what it is. That's what it is. And they're sitting with it. Instead of transmuting it, they're sitting. But disgust is something that you should not feel all the time with a person. I don't like feeling disgusted. It's very easy for me to get disgusted. So when I have a level of disgust, I really follow that. Like I don't try to make sense of my disgust. I don't. I honor my disgust. I have overridden my disgust before, and it has showed me exactly why I was fucking disgusted. Ever since then, I just don't really put myself in certain situations. And you're meant to be choosy. Like you don't have to go out of your way to make excuses for your ick. Like, I don't know why I feel disgusted. Because you feel disgusted, and that's okay. It's okay to feel disgusted. Kick that motherfucker to the curb. Get him the fuck up out of here. You know, when I think about disgust, I think about going into somebody's room and their room is just nasty. You brought me over here like this? Disgust. And it's okay. Guys, I just wanted to come on here and tell you why it's important to honor your disgust. I am on a roll, honestly. Like, I've just been having these thoughts come out, flow out. I am like, wow, I can't believe I've been through so many different experiences that I could turn into story times. But I am happy that I'm able to do so, because I feel like I extract from all of the things that I've been through in my life. There's really not one situation that I've been through that I haven't learned something from. So if I can make sure that I can share that with you guys, I have done my part. You know, I'm not just keeping it and hoarding it to myself. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch. I hope that this made sense. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hype this video. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Purest Alchemy out. Love you.